Mom? Hey, where did you go? Right now, Dad is looking all over for you.
Huh? Is this you, Ed? Are you using your dad's phone again to try and text me?
Well, Mom, I don't have a phone of my own to text you from, so I had to take his.
And a boy in 5th grade doesn't need to have a smartphone at his age, right?
I know that, but Dad told me that when I needed to talk with someone else in the family while they are out, I could use his phone and text. Also, Dad had a small accident with his hand, right? And so he can't use his hand to text you right now.
Yeah. I knew that man was going to care more about you than anyone else. But if he really wants to spoil someone, he's better off doing that with my daughter, who looks just like me, since she is definitely the better looking one of you two.
You're talking about Avery, right?
Yes, that's right. You already know that I'm in love with all things that are both cute and beautiful. And that's why I'm only in love with your cute older sister, Avery.
Mom?
Just a second ago, you had asked me where I am right now, right? Well, I'm at the airport right now.
The airport?
I'm going to be taking your sister to France with me, and she's going to become a supermodel with the help of her mom.
She's going to become a supermodel in France?
I'm going to take her to Paris with me, and we'll find her a modeling agency who will take great care of her. And you are far too ugly to be a kid of my own, so I won't be needing you anymore. Well, you only ever ended up as a kid of mine because your dad brought you along with him in the marriage, so I don't even have to call you a part of my family anymore. So please don't think anything bad of this, okay?
Dad is asking, have you filled out any diverse paperwork yet?
Tell him that the paperwork is sitting on the coffee table in the living room.
Alright. Well then that's fine with me, is what he said.
Huh?
Well, Dad just said that about you a second ago, but I feel the same way about you as well now. Have fun in France, Mom. Bye-bye.
Hello, Ed? This is your phone number, right, Ed?
And who am I speaking to right now?
This is your mom, Andrea.
What?
I've heard about how you've been doing so well for yourself, Ed. So now you can look up to me as your mom since I was able to get you to this point, and I can feel good about myself again as well.
I'm sorry to say this, but I don't believe I'm speaking with my mom right now.
Well, it has been 10 years since we last met, and I'm sure my number is different from the one I had back in those days. But look, I'm your mom. And if you're wondering how I got your number, I was able to get it from your aunt. Your aunt was kind enough to tell me that you're getting into the showbiz yourself there, huh? And that you'll be going into Hollywood for your debut, right?
That freaking dog. She's really gone and done it now.
Hey, come on now. You should not be speaking about your aunt in that manner, okay? It's because of her that I'm finally able to talk to you again, and you can finally speak with your mother once more. I bet you're so happy to finally hear from your mom again after 10 long years of waiting, right?
But I already told you, this is not my mom's number that I'm currently speaking to. Also know that she has only one phone and she's never told me nor anyone else that she has another. So tell me, what the hell do you want?
Come on, Ed. You don't have to give me such a cold shoulder. I know it's been a long time since you've heard from me, but you should still know how to talk to your own mother, right?
Look, can you quit it with all that BS?
Huh?
Are you kidding me? Can you not tell by the way I'm talking to you right now that I don't see you as my mother anymore and that I never want to again?
Huh?
You and that girl of yours, both Dad and I don't care about you guys. And all you do is bring back our bad memories by talking to me again. So go the hell away. And never try texting or calling me again.
Ed! This drama that I'm watching right now, I can tell just by looking at your face that you're the one playing the rival to the main character, right? I saw your name in the opening credits, and that face of yours is the same as when you were back in 5th grade. I totally get it now. Back in the day, you were a bit of an ugly duckling, but now that you've grown into a young adult, I have to say that you are one handsome-looking gentleman. Amazing. So you really are my son after all.
Ugh. You're texting me again?
Hey! Do you really think that's the right way to talk to your own mother? It's not. So you'd better start talking to me in a polite manner from now on.
You're not my mom. And that is why I'm talking to you like the annoyance you really are.
All right already, all right. I get it that it's because of me that you've become this amazing little actor. It's because of all that wishing and praying that I did to have a child of mine turn into an actor that you've become such an amazing person, right?
Seriously?
And compared to you, your older sister Avery, well, let's just say she's not doing as great.
What's happened to Avery?
Well, her and I are coming back to the States soon.
Weren't you and her trying your hardest to get her to become a supermodel or something?
Well, that didn't ever really turn into anything more than just a dream. I thought for sure that since she's a natural beauty, she'd be able to make it in one of those agencies over there, but of course, those French have a different idea of who's beautiful or not. So in the end, any agency we went to never gave her a chance to model, and any private work she tried never ended up being scouted. And what's worse is after failure, she began to eat a lot more bread and stuff to fight the stress. And let's just say she's gained a few pounds. Really, she's no longer a beauty whatsoever, but rather the definition of an obese person. Seriously, I cannot use her at all now. But this is why, to me, you were the perfect son any mother could ever ask for. My prayers were finally heard, and you turned into the most handsome-looking young man imaginable.
Well, I didn't get this far because of you.
Huh?
The only reason I've become an actor is because I wanted to become one, so I put in the effort to get to where I am now. To tell you the truth, it's supposed to be the manager's job to be here with me to help me diet and make sure I stay up to date on roles, right? Well, you haven't been here for me these past 10 years, nor have you ever been my manager, so screw you.
Huh?
Also, people don't just make it in a modeling or acting business by looking good.
Ed!
You have to be able to act as well, whether it's on stage or in a studio. And you have to be able to work to become the character you want to be, which takes weeks to perfect.
Wait a minute.
So you have no right coming to me acting as though you've put any work or care into me? Therefore, please, for God's sake, just leave me the hell alone so that you don't cause me any headaches anymore. Seriously, stop talking to me. I'm not messing around right now.
Seriously, Ed? Don't you think you're going a little too far with all this after having blocked your own mother's number now?
Are you kidding me?
I had my phone number changed so that I could get in touch with you again.
I told you already, stop trying to get in touch with me anymore.
Oh my. Well, why would I ever want to stop talking to my son? Are you really sure you want me to stay away from you even longer than I already have? I plan to become your manager soon so that you can become even more famous.
What?
You don't have to try and keep me at bay anymore. I promise that I'll do everything in my power to make sure you get as many roles as you'd like. And if you're worried about me having any experience, just know that I've been the manager for Avery for the past 10 years, and I did a wonderful job at it.
By wonderful, do you mean you failed her on multiple occasions, and that's why you're back?
Huh?
As from what you've told me, you didn't take Avery anywhere as her manager, and only led her to becoming fat and sad about her life. You told me that yourself the last time we chatted about her.
Well, that was something else. It had nothing to do with me as her manager, rather do with her way of thinking. She didn't have the drive she needed to become a supermodel, and that's why things didn't work out for her. But you're different. I know that with my help, I can take you to the top.
Well, I'm already on my way there.
Huh?
My manager happens to be one of the most well-known in the Hollywood world, and she also happens to be my mom.
Your mom? Ah, right. So this is your way of saying that you want me to be your manager, right? Understood, Eddie. I'll make sure to make you huge in Hollywood, and make sure that you and I never have to worry about falling out of the spotlight ever again.
Wrong. I'm talking about how I already have a manager and mother, and she's not you.
What? What do you mean by that?
My dad happened to get remarried about 8 years ago.
Huh?
And not only did Dad end up getting remarried, but he did so with a woman who he ended up having a baby girl with, and she has the most beautiful face and figure. But unlike you, she's not the kind of person to only care about those that are attractive looking, and is willing to love everyone in her family very much. And so because of her warmth, I've been able to forget about the cold past that I had with you as my mother, and can now live a new life as a successful man.
That man, he got remarried to a new woman? And not just that, but had a girl with her?
And that's why I've been saying that you're not my mother this whole time. It's been 10 years since you left Dad and I, so I have zero clue why you're back here now trying to talk to me like you ever cared about my family. But if you really think that you have any chance of getting back into this family as my dad's wife, then you're strictly mistaken, as there's zero chance of that happening now.
What?
That's what I thought.
I have no other choice right now. 10 years ago, my dad, who was a very wealthy person, passed away. And of course, after his death, I received a lot of that money in his will from him. And when that money came to me, I thought it would be the perfect chance for me to get my daughter to become a famous model. And that's why I took her with me to France and started to make her model.
I see. So that's what Dad was explaining to me about after you left us?
During the first year, I was never able to land her any modeling gigs, and so I just thought that was a part of the industry. And since she didn't have a name for herself yet, I decided it would be better for the two of us to start conforming to life there first before getting into modeling. But then it was 2 years, and then 3 years, and time just kept on going without us ever seeing any real work come for us. And during that time, Avery graduated from an international high school there. That was the moment I thought she'd really put all her time into modeling without the need to study, but I was wrong. But then I started to really have a closer look at her, and it appeared to me she already gave up. And the food there had gotten the best of her. She was no longer the beautiful young woman I pictured her as, rather a model for some weight loss ad. And it wasn't just that. I noticed that a lot of the money from my father had dwindled away, and so I had to make the choice to bring us back to the U.S.
What?
The house that your sister and I had been planning on living in is no longer there for us. And so right now, we don't have a place to go home to.
Right. Currently, your mom is in an elderly home, spending the last couple of years of her life being cared for by the nurses there.
What?
I heard from her that she used the money left over by her husband and the money from the house when she sold it to get into a really nice home where there are all sorts of amenities for her.
You're kidding. So that means there really is no place for us to go?
And that's not all, actually. You ended up taking your daughter away with you to another country, even though she never really wanted to. And while there, you used up not only your own money that you received from your late dad, but also the money that was supposed to be left for her. There were apparently a few other people that were supposed to get the money from your late father, who never did because of you.
What are you talking about? Where is my mom right now?
I have no clue where she chose to go. Besides that, it's good for her.
What?
So far, everything I've been telling you has been okay to tell you, as the other parties involved don't seem to mind you knowing. But even if I did know more about your mom, I wouldn't tell you, as she never gave me the permission to.
Hold on a second. If you're not going to tell us where she is, how are Avery and I going to live?
Think about that one yourself, Andrea.
Huh?
There's another thing. As for that aunt of mine that ended up causing you to learn about my current situation in the first place, the whole family has stopped talking to her. So if you're trying to go for her for more information regarding me, you won't learn anything more than you already know.
Huh?
Now, I have to get ready to head into the studio for another session of takes, so I'll be going now.
Huh? Wait a second, Ed.
I'm blocking you again.
Right now I'm stuck in a cheap motel with Avery and we don't have much money left to keep us here. When it's all gone, we'll have to move into the streets. Hey, I'm only asking you this one time to please give me a place to live, just for a little bit. Ed!
There was one last thing that I never ended up explaining to Andrea, and it all had to do with the information that was left over regarding her late father's money and assets, and who they all went to. On that sheet of paper, she could probably take a closer look at it and learn where her mother ran off to, had she just taken the time to do so. Of course, Andrea or Avery could still think of that as an option and take a look for themselves, but I was never gonna recommend that to her, as I just don't care about either of them. So whatever happens next with those three will be left unknown to me. And a couple days later, Andrea and Avery both appeared to have figured out where I was currently working in Hollywood and came to find me. But of course I told security of this, and they made sure to stay on the lookout for these two. And when they were spotted around the studio, security called the police, who then came and grabbed the two of them, where they later found some information on distant relatives of them who they ended up calling to come get them. And within a day, a black minivan pulled up outside the police station to pick those two up, and then they were gone for good. My dad later called me to tell me that distant relative was Andrea's younger sister, who ended up taking those two into her company to work for her, day and night, for the rest of their lives. It was such a relief to learn that Andrea and Avery could no longer touch any of us anymore, and ever since then, I've been able to live in peace. Thank you so much for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Hi Sarah, thanks for inviting my son over yesterday. He said he had so much fun playing with your son. I hope he was a good boy.
No problem, Nora. He was a really good boy. He has a quiet personality just like you. I want to thank him for being good friends with my son.
Really? I'm glad to hear that. He can be really naughty when he's at home. Maybe he gets nervous at his friend's house.
Maybe. Boys his age are so naughty at home. My son was so naughty this morning, I was exhausted by the time he left for school.
Me too. Without my husband's help, it would have been impossible for him to get ready for school in time. Young boys are really energetic.
I'm so jealous, such a nice husband. Your husband helps you take care of your son? My husband never helps me look after him.
Really? Your husband looks kind, though.
He is definitely kind, but he's really busy with his work. Thanks to his hard work, he was able to get a promotion and now gets a good salary.
That's great.
Yeah, it is, but there are some bad things too. He's really talented, so he attracts a lot of attention.
Isn't that a good thing? I don't see any disadvantages.
Well, he's not only talented, but also handsome. He's kind and good at his job as well, so he's quite popular among boys and girls. It makes me worry as his wife. Do you get what I'm trying to say, Nora?
Yeah, I bet he's really popular at his office. I think I get why you're worried.
Right. I really don't know why he chose to marry me. You know, I can be aggressive sometimes. It might have been better for him to marry a more elegant and feminine woman.
Don't worry. Your personality is definitely one of your charms. Your husband fell in love with you. You should feel more confident.
I hope so. If only I was elegant and feminine like you, Nora. I wouldn't have to worry about these things.
Me? You have your charms, Sarah.
Really? Don't flatter me. I might get overconfident about myself.
I'm serious. You should feel confident about yourself.
I feel like I forced you to say this. Nora, you really helped me gain my self-confidence. Thanks.
I just told you my honest thoughts.
You're really kind. Oh, by the way, I was hoping if we go to our son's open school together.
Sure, I was also planning to visit his open school. Thanks for asking. I thought you were going with close mom friends.
I wanted to go with you. I actually got into a little fight with them the other day, so we decided to go separately this time. And our sons are in different classes anyway.
Oh, I see. I'm happy you asked me. I'll see you on open school day then.
Our sons are great friends as well. I guess we all get along. I'll come pick you up, okay? I heard they were going to read their essays for us during open school. I'm so excited to hear about what they wrote.
Was the topic about their family? It's kind of embarrassing to hear what they think of us, but I'm also looking forward to it.
I know, I'm a bit nervous to be honest. See you on open school day.
Hi, Sarah? I have a question to ask. Do you have some time right now?
What? I'm really busy. If you have anything you want to ask me, go on. Let's end this quick.
Then I'll get straight to the point. Your son has been acting weird recently.
Weird? How? Can you be a bit more specific?
Did you tell your son to ignore my son?
Why would you think so?
My son told me that your son ignored him at school today. When he asked him for the reason, he said so.
My son said that? His honesty is his charm, but I guess he's a bit too straightforward. I should have told him not to say that.
So you admit it? Why would you tell your son to ignore my son?
Why? I think it's pretty clear. You really don't know why. How about you think of the reason yourself?
I noticed your attitude changed all of a sudden. You used to text me a lot before, but you barely text me now. Even if I text you, you tend to ignore my messages and never reply. But I really don't know why you changed so much.
I'll give you a hint. Open school. Do you remember anything?
Did I do something that offended you?
Think about your husband.
My husband? He wasn't there with us, though.
He wasn't, but your son revealed something in his essay. He said that his dad stays at home every day and plays with him. Doesn't that mean he's jobless?
No, he has a job. He's often at home, but he has a job. He works every day just like your husband.
He can't be at home if he really has a job. I have to make wise choices about who to be friends with. I can't let my son be friends like someone whose dad is jobless.
He has a job. Don't look down on us. And our sons have nothing to do with this in the first place. They've been great friends for a long time. It's up to them to choose who they want to be friends with.
You have no idea about how friends can influence your child. Both my husband and I are intelligent people, and my son is also both intelligent, got it? What if my son becomes stupid like your son by being friends with him? Can you take responsibility for it?
Are you insulting my son as well? I love my husband and son. They are really important to me. I won't allow you to insult my family.
If you were smart like me, you wouldn't be emotional like this so easily. You should just interact with your kind of people. Stupid people like you. I don't want you to get involved with my son.
Okay. I never knew you were so mean, Sarah.
What if I was? It's none of your business. I don't need a poor friend who married a jobless guy.
Alright. I won't text you anymore. And I will never get involved with your family. Are you happy with that?
Of course. I don't want to interact with poor families. I never want to be poor like you. Nobody ever bring your son near my son. Tell your son not to play with my son ever again. He is definitely a negative influence.
I'm exhausted.
What's the matter, darling? It took you longer than usual to take your lunch break.
Oh, I'm really busy. I barely have time to eat my lunch. A big project is coming up. I know it's my job, but it's really tiring.
Are you okay? Don't push yourself too hard, okay? I get that you're busy, but you have to take a break once in a while.
Sorry to make you worried. But others work harder than me.
Your colleagues?
Nah, the engineer we're working with. He doesn't work for our company, but he's great. He's famous in the field. Without him, our project would have failed a long time ago.
I never heard you praise someone so much. I bet he's really great. I hope my poor mom friend gets to hear about him.
Poor mom friend. What are you talking about?
Her family is so dumb. They don't understand how poor they are and the negative influence they're giving to their surroundings. Her husband is jobless.
Life must be hard for them then. So, does his wife work instead?
No, she's a housewife. I really wonder how they're making a living. I guess they depend on their parents' money.
I feel really sorry for their child.
Really? I thought so too. Jim was friends with their son, so I told him to start interacting with them. I think he'll be a negative influence for Jim.
Do I know him too? If you're friends with his mom, I think I know him too.
Oh, I'm talking about Nora and her family, but there's nothing to worry. I told her to never get involved with our family.
Nora and her family? Are you serious? Tell me you're kidding. You haven't offended her, have you?
What's wrong? I only told her the truth that she wasn't aware about. Her stupid family is definitely a bad influence for Jim.
You're the stupid one! Come to my office right now to apologize. Right now!
Huh? What's wrong with you? Why do I have to do that?
The engineer I was talking about earlier, he is Nora's husband.
Huh? You have to be kidding. Her son wrote in his essay that his dad stays at home all the time. Doesn't that mean her husband is jobless?
He's a freelance engineer. It's not a rare job nowadays. You misunderstood and insulted her. How can you insult her based on your assumptions?
Wait a minute. What's gonna happen if I don't apologize?
He's a calm man. I don't think it will affect our project, but you insulted not only his wife, but his son as well, right?
Not exactly. I might have sounded a bit aggressive, though.
You definitely offended his family. If I was him, I wouldn't want to work with someone whose wife insulted my family. Project might end up failing because of you.
That can't happen. I can't directly insult her husband.
Just come to my office right now to apologize. Fortunately, he's visiting our office today. Hurry up! Got it?
Nora, you have to help me. You're the only one I can rely on.
I can't believe you're texting me after all the things you said yesterday. What do you want from me?
I heard about your husband from my husband. He's not jobless, is he?
Why? Does your husband know my husband?
Your husband works with my husband's company, right? I met him today.
Oh, right. I almost forgot. And what do you want?
My husband told me your husband has been a great help, so I want to apologize about what I said to you yesterday. I'm really sorry, Nora.
How does your apology relate to you asking me for help?
Your husband seemed really angry about it. Both my husband and I apologized to him. But he said he won't accept our apology unless you forgive me. He said he can't make the decision because it's also about you and your son.
So, you want me to tell my husband that I forgave you?
Yes, that's right. I might have been a bit offensive, but we're good friends, aren't we? Friends fight sometimes. Let's both forget about it.
No, I can't forget about it. We're not friends anymore, are we? You're the one who wanted to stop being friends.
I'm asking you to forget everything I said. Let me apologize for everything I said that offended you. I'll allow my son to play with your son, so please, we can be friends again, can't we?
Why do I need to allow my son to be friends with your son? I thought you were the one who was asking for help. I don't think you really feel sorry.
Let's just ignore the small details, okay? I thought you were a kind-hearted person, Nora. You seem to be narrow-minded today.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just told you my honest opinion.
Your honest opinion? If you have anything you want to say, I'm ready to listen. I'm always your friend.
Let me be really honest with you. Why are you apologizing via text, not in person? Do you really feel sorry?
You know, I don't want to bother you by visiting your house. I'm being considerate.
What's with your arrogant attitude? I'm the one who decides if I forgive you or not. You don't sound sorry at all, Sarah. It's like you're apologizing for your own good.
No, that's not true. I'm the one to be blamed. I'm fully aware of that. So don't be so mean to me.
Is this funny to you? If you don't feel sorry, don't apologize. It's frustrating. I don't think I can forgive you, Sarah.
Nora, do you know that I'm older than you? Can't you respect me more? How can you say something so mean?
If you want respect, act like you deserve it. I don't think you're worthy of respect.
Don't you remember that I was the one who talked to you first? Who do you think helped you to make many mom friends? How about you express some gratitude?
Gratitude? You have to be kidding. You never acted out of kindness. You just wanted someone you can look down on.
How dare you say that?
The only thing you do is brag about your husband. You talk it away to get praised by others. And if you dislike someone, you instantly kick them out of your friend group. Many of your mom friends feel the same. You're a difficult person to be around.
Huh? Who would ever say that? Have you been making fun of me all this time?
You could be difficult sometimes, but I always looked up to you. You have great leadership. Well, I regret looking up to you, to be honest.
If you thought highly of me, can't you just forgive me? You looked up to me at one point. We could be friends again, Nora.
There's nothing I can respect about you at this point. You insulted both my husband and son. I don't think I can be friends with someone who insulted my family.
I'll allow your son to be friends with my son again. Are you destroying your son's friendship because of your own problem? I don't think that's something a mother should do.
There's nothing I have to worry about. Your son apologized to my son the other day. He said sorry he ignored him just because his mother told him to.
Huh? Jim said that?
Good for you, Sarah. Your son is a good boy. He's indeed very intelligent. I respect your ability to raise such a good boy. How about you learn how to be mature from your son? Because you're definitely being more immature than him. After our conversation, I instantly blocked Sarah. I then sent all the conversation I had with Sarah using messages to her husband. He was so shocked to read all the messages he sent me, and he decided to live separately from his wife. My husband never planned to make his personal emotions get in the way of his work, so he still works with Sarah's husband. To avoid the worst-case scenario of their project failing, her husband wanted Sarah to apologize, just in case. He hoped she would learn from this experience and better her personality in the future. But sadly, she did not seem to learn anything from it, so her husband decided to live separately to reconsider their marriage. I no longer keep in touch with Sarah, but our sons remain to be great friends with each other. Her honest and kind-hearted son reflected on his actions, regretted ignoring my son because his mom told him to, and apologized to my son. My son is lucky to have such a good friend. I hope he can continue to cherish this friendship in the future, and grow up to be a wonderful gentleman.